Hello, you're watching BBC News. I'm Jane Hill in Windsor as the nation prepares to remember the life of the Duke of Edinburgh. His funeral takes place here in St George's Chapel this afternoon. The funeral will mark Prince Philip's unwavering loyalty to the Queen and his service to the nation. Prince Philip's association with the Royal Navy and his love of the sea will be a focus of today's ceremony. Many aspects of today's funeral were planned by the Duke himself. His many medals and decorations have been placed in the chapel, and more than 730 members of the armed forces will take part in a procession here.
The selection of which units, which bands, which music, which medals will be there. So it is very much his funeral designed by him.
There's a limit of 30 mourners here in St George's Chapel because of COVID rules. The Queen and the Duke's 4 children and their 8 grandchildren will all be present. And before the funeral, the Queen has shared one of her favourite photos of her and her husband relaxing in the Scottish Highlands. The service itself will begin after a national minute's silence at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Buckingham Palace is urging the public not to travel to Windsor and is asking people to follow the day's events on radio and television instead. Well, hello and welcome to Windsor Castle, where the funeral of the Duke of Edinburgh will take place this afternoon. It'll be watched by millions of people around the world. It will be a small family affair because, in line with current COVID restrictions, only 30 people are to be allowed into St George's Chapel. The Queen will sit alone as she says goodbye to her husband of 73 years. Buckingham Palace has said the service will celebrate and reflect the Duke's life and mark his unwavering loyalty to the Queen. Today here on BBC News we will be hearing from people who knew the Duke, who worked with him, and some of those who are involved in the planning of today's ceremonies. Our first report is from our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell.